video, we're continuing our KaiserOst series, which doesn't even make sense, because Kaiser isn't even in control anymore. He ended right before the end of Season 1, but it's still KaiserOst. And while in America, they finally had their answer. It was Trump, and how he won means that, my poll was not the best that I did, the poll map I did. He somehow won Wisconsin and Michigan. Yeah, he flipped those two states. Now, that's the only inaccuracy I had on my poll map, because it did show he was winning. The poll I did before that, the poll map I did before, well, it was different. But let's just hope Trump doesn't turn out to be like my Trump in 2024 video, where Russia, China, and America just took over the world. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't turn out like that. And a lot of crazy stuff happened. So let's just hope it doesn't turn out like my Trump in 2024 video I made a few months ago. Let's just hope not. Because that would be bad, honestly. I guess there's probably nobody taking notes off what I do in my videos. Say, what if I made this in real life? Wild Mapper, but in real life. Yes, Wild Mapper. And this war starts, and there's two reasons. Well, at the same time, Unifist Iran launches an offensive into Afghanistan, Russia into Manchuria, and India into southern Tibet and China. So let's see it. And at the beginning, the advances aren't that fast. As they start crossing into Afghanistan, Iran does. India starts crossing into parts of China and southern Tibet. They gain a bit of land. And Russia starts its Manchuria offensive, which goes pretty well because this area is pretty weak because China just got out of a civil war 20 years ago, so it's still not fully recovered somehow. And while they move into Manchuria, China has strengthened a lot, but they still haven't maintained a global domination position. And as China starts mobilizing, Afghanistan is finished off. Russia starts an offensive of northern China. And, they even manage to get to there. And, what happens now? They start moving into Xinjiang. And India moves into Tibet a bit and now starting one offensive into Myanmar. The Unifist nations are really wanting to expand. As you can see in one part, and Tibet's about to surrender as this happens. So this part of China surrenders, and then that happens, and then this happens, Myanmar surrenders, followed by an offensive into Thailand, and not every Unifist nation in the alliance has joined yet. Before Japan as Japan was sending its troops into mainland Korea and China, Russia starts its offensive. And it goes pretty well until they get caught because enough troops can make it back. India and Russia and Iran use their navies to island hop in Indonesia. This is a success. Honestly, the Philippines falls, and this is what it looks like. And now they're invading into southern Korea, and now they've taken out Korea. With China trying to stand a chance, but the only front that's concerning is this front. As this front is going to determine who wins. China knows that if Beijing falls, they'll have to give up. So they let some territories fall, including the outskirts of Beijing, which fall. Eventually, China manages to hold a stalemate, but as the stalemate goes on, a new offensive is started by Russia in the north, as they launch one right here. In this offensive, they also launch one from over here, which takes out more of China. With China managing to move its troops, its government down south, which leads to a stalemate. You may be saying, why is Russia moving? It is a stalemate. There's just still movement. And this is what it finally looks like. And China decides to pull out of rural areas, as it'll be easier to defend the urban areas. Which, as Russia make that offensive, they manage to retake Beijing. But China's really struggling in this war, especially with a naval blockade around them. But they try to hold their best with an offensive in the south, not going well, and one in the north, even getting to Korea. But at this point, Beijing falls again, these lands fall, and China is completely demoralized, so they end up having to give up. Well, China surrendered, so we'll have to look at a peace treaty now. In India, Russia, and Iran, with Tibet being annexed by India and parts of China, with Myanmar being mostly annexed. Then they made a southern state, which this country is, Southeast Asia Federation. Then we got a Philippines puppet, a Japanese puppet, minus Sakhalin, which goes to Russia. And they make a Chinese puppet and a Korean puppet. And well, now to put in the puppet color. And also the Papa puppet, Papua New Guinea puppet annex more, with Xinjiang, Mongolia, and parts of Manchuria being annexed by Russia. And this is major because it's quite a bit of land. With a unifist taking power, with unifists managing to take power in Egypt. Not Egypt. Let's not do Egypt. They take power in the DRC, Algeria, Chad, South Africa, Central African Republic, Cameroon, so they all join it. But with some of the democracies left, including Canada, decides they will make their own alliance. They don't want to follow the rules of the big ones. They want to oppose them. Yes, Canada's a strong country in this timeline. Who knew Canada could become strong? And yeah. What? How am I still doing the KaiserOst series, even though it should be longer? And these nations join it. And the idea of this alliance, the goal of this alliance, is to stop the unifists and imperialists. With the, not Caribbean, that's not the best move, with most of Africa, South Africa joining, except South Africa, the country. And well, as you can see, there's going to be a war soon. And while the Americans can't wait to take back their land, these countries are also scared of this alliance. Canada's starting to build up a significant military. With Canada having goals to get its population, right now in this series, their goal is to get the military up, modernize their military, and make it better than the rest. And stop unifism, because they believe unifism is really wrong, which basically invade, occupy all of your people, invade even bigger. Well, then what they do is they believe in, let's say, the people from the region deserve all of the wealth. So basically, it's like a broken communism system. But people who were born in the countries is what it means, not people that were born in the country or lived in the country for 10 plus years. If not, you don't get to live in the cities. Yes, you're forced to be a farmer or a miner if you don't do it. So yeah. And then this is a free world. Yeah. They're ready to take back for revenge. Canada wants revenge for they took America away, Britain away, France away, and allies. They are angry and ready to take back. And that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!